Hi, this is Matt Bradley-Tschirgi, and trying something a little bit different with this stream. I've been doing YouTube content on and off, I think pretty consistently, I would say for the past year or so. I did a thing following the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters and how all that stuff went. And now I'm kind of at a point where I'm kind of at a loss, not really sure what to do, because I've tried some different stuff. And if you could jump in the chat and throw out some ideas, otherwise I'm just going to kind of talk out loud for a bit and we'll see how this does, because the majority of stuff I've done on the YouTube and on Twitch, and I usually stream it on Twitch and then just dump it to YouTube because that's easier. And I like the chat stuff when people jump in when that's possible. Although the social media platform I get the most engagement on is Twitter at twitter.com/matwbt is yeah, I mean, so basically, what are the kind of videos I've been doing? I've been doing the news, these kind of short news videos and kind of reaction videos to the Final Fantasy stuff, and that seemed to be doing good. But also, like, there's not much Final Fantasy stuff. I could always talk about Final Fantasy. There's a million channels about it. So I don't know if that's the best thing for me to focus on. I do have a lot of retro games I haven't played yet. I think that could be kind of fun. I think the problem is like when I do a live stream, a to get people really into that, you need to do it for it seems like 3 to 4 hours at a time, 3 to 6 hours at a time. I don't have the time to stream for that long. I'm also narcoleptic, so I can't play games for that long as I used to when I was a kid. And I'm an adult, and I just, I have a busy schedule. I have more responsibilities at work, which I love, but it also takes a lot of time. My day job is I work for a company that does stuff with games and music and movies, working in the marketing department. So, and really cool. By far the best job I've ever had, but also limits time for this stuff, which is absolutely fine. And so I was just trying to figure out with the time I have, it's free, and I do like doing the YouTube content, what kind of stuff would be the best? Would it be it that the stream stuff just doesn't seem to get that many viewers ever at all, or if it does, but the live chat stuff, I could try the streaming the retro games on YouTube because that's a smaller audience to compete against than Twitch. That could be something. I kind of like the idea of me going through the older games. That could be something. I could focus like on the adventure games or like simulation. Probably the graphic adventure like King's Quest kind of stuff. Or the simulation games, I think, are pretty interesting. I guess I would say those are my two favorite genres. And then RPGs, up to a point, it's not that I don't like RPGs anymore, but it's the time investment, I guess, is the thing. And sometimes I just like some silly kind of action stuff as well, like Fall Guys. So also some of these some of the online only competitive shooters, those can be sort of neat. But I mean, I've streamed hours and hours of these things to no viewers, and I do want to get some kind of engagement. I've been getting, more subscribers. I started this past year with, I don't know, 20 something, and then organically I have maybe 100 more than that, which is great. That's really cool. So I'm trying to figure out how to make it grow more and how to go on from there. I also see a lot of stuff on YouTube of documentary content, and what does that mean? So, I mean, they say documentary. I think it has to be feature film, but that isn't really what that means. It just means people talking about the history of something, which they're mainly just reading off paraphrases of. I'm not slamming anyone here, but a lot of it's just paraphrasing off of Wikipedia and so forth. They had a little series a while ago called "Video Games at the Movies" on YouTube, where I did, talked about Rocky the movie and Rocky the video game on Sega Master System, for example, things like that. And I think that hook is interesting. I like film, I like video games, I like music, and the music stuff with video game music, I think had a really good uh, reaction to it when I did that post. And I've done video game music radio shows before, and so just talking out loud, thinking here, that could be another angle to all this stuff. It's checking something on my phone here. Um, so with all these angles, what to I'll do with it. I could just do a channel on video game music, like discussing the tracks. And when I said I did a radio show, what do I mean? Right. So I wrote about this a little bit in my podcast book, Podcast You Nerd, How I Survived 15 Years of Podcasting Hell. You can get it from Amazon.com, and I did the Audible version for it. But the short version is I was in college at Savannah College Art and Design from 2002 to 2005. It was my third college in 5 years. I don't recommend you do that because A, it costs more money, and B, you lose all kind of credits whenever you transfer, even if it's in the same state, unless you're. Some states like California have things in place to protect credits from transferring over. Anyhow, in I for initially for SCAD Radio, I did a show called Do the Mario, which was video game music, and it was not to toot my own horn, but it was pretty popular. I organically it had people listening on stuff like Overclocked Remix. I guess that's still a big site for the remix community, but people knew my show without me actively promoting it, and there wasn't a lot like that at the time. You had to listen to it live. They didn't have a download of it you can listen to later. And it was iPod, excuse me. The iPod had just come out. Smartphones were not really a thing. You could play Snake on your phone and maybe check your email, but that was about it. Text messages, right? So things were just so very different at that time. And then when I graduated college, I couldn't really find much work and did a podcast called, The Super Cooper Trooper Show. Also, video game music. You can see a theme there, right? And I guess most recently, again, and this was in 2005 in podcasting. I think it just started the year before in 2004. So it was really quite neat to jump on the train early, but I just kind of burned myself out on it. And I did it, another version of the video game music show called Nintendo for KBOO FM in Portland, Oregon. And that was in 2000, maybe 2012 to 2013. I did that for about a year and stopped, not because I wasn't enjoying it, but because I was also there it's a community nonprofit radio station, and I would teach classes there. I would teach classes in how to do a podcast, how to edit audio using, we had a very old version of Adobe Audition, maybe CS5. It was like one of the last versions before they made you subscribe to a software as a service thing where it's, I don't know, $20 a month or whatever it is, depending on how many apps you have. So, with all that in the way, me talking this out, unfortunately, no one to chat with, but that's fine. It's still useful exercise, and I'm curious to see what people think of these random chats. I mean, I could do content of me just talking about random shit off the top of my head, because I do that all the time. Anyway, so that's really something. Pretty cool. All right, well, if you have any ideas, post them in the comments below. I think this was a neat little video, kind of an experiment. And again, what are the choices here? I could do like little like video game documentary things about games I really haven't played that much, and kind of what I thought about it. I could do streams of random retro games and have no one watch them. I could talk about video game music, and those are the three main choices I came up with. You can come up with other stuff. Leave comments below. I will like and subscribe and follow and all the verbs. And I will catch you next time. Looking forward to your feedback, chatting with you in the YouTube comments about what kind of stuff I should do next, because as it says below, it's a crossroads, not really sure what to do. I'm at Bradley-Tschirgi. You can also listen to my podcast at sequelcast2.com. Follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/matwbt, and like and subscribe here at youtube.com/sequelcast. Thanks.